Alright, coming in at number 5, we have King of the Ring 2001. So I just recently got this DVD, but I had the VHS for it, and I watched it so many times before, and just a great event. Pretty much a lot of these matches, like the King of the Ring was great because throughout the night, it was Kurt Angle versus Shane McMahon was the match after the King of the Ring. But Kurt Angle was in the King of the Ring matches, so he would have to face 2 matches to win King of the Ring. So Shane McMahon actually helped him win the first match, and then when he faced Edge in the second match, he lost. So which made him have to have 3 matches in one night instead of 2. So, and then there was an epic street fight between Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle. Definitely have to watch that if you haven't watched that before. And the main event was Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Chris Jericho versus Chris Benoit, another great triple threat match. And I ranked this so high because I watched it so many times. I just love this pay-per-view. Also, The Undertaker finding out DDP was a stalker was really cool. Well, we already found that out. Well, when Undertaker confronted him, that was really cool. I watched it so many times, and we saw Austin trying to wait for McMahon all night to him to come to support him, but we found out that he never came, but he retained the WWF Championship. Coming in at number 4 is probably the greatest SummerSlams of all time, SummerSlam 2002. Probably one of my favorite SummerSlams of all time, and this is why. So back in 2002, I used to watch wrestling all the time, like every week I used to watch wrestling, definitely. But this is when, before I used to have this box, right? And I used to get all the pay-per-view channels unscrambled. But then after WrestleMania 18, around there, the box, they canceled that all crap out. So I used to watch it the day after the pay-per-views, but I was still into wrestling, and my friends saw it all the time. But this was the pay-per-view that we all went to each other's houses. Like, usually we all are separate, but we all in the same street, neighborhood. But then we all went to someone's house and we all watched it. It was just a great event. Matches on this card, the opener was, like, what was it? Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle. That could have, all these matches now, if you put this, could all be main events. Rey Mysterio versus Kurt Angle, great match. Ric Flair versus Chris Jericho was a decent match. Edge versus Eddie Guerrero was a good match. Chris Benoit versus RVD, another good match. Undertaker versus Test was a good match. Shawn Michaels versus Triple H, the best match of the night. The non-sanctioned match, just a great match, and it ended in a roll-up, and it was just so great. That match, must watch if you haven't watched it. And then we had The Rock versus Brock Lesnar winning the WWE Championship. So that was a great SummerSlam 2002, one of the best SummerSlams of all time, my opinion. Coming in at number 3 is people probably think this is ranked really low for this event, but this is my personal opinion. WrestleMania 17, but some say the greatest wrestling event of all time, a perfect event. And if you look closely, I bought this at, okay, this is a story. I bought this at secondandspin.com, right? And I paid $38.99 because I knew this was out of print. But it said used, right? But then I opened the box. I actually did an unboxing on this, and I didn't notice it until I was about to watch it. And I go to open it, and I found out the top is sealed, and the side is sealed, and the bottom is sealed. This thing is brand new sealed. This is like $200, I think. You can't probably get $200 for this sealed. So I never opened it, but I've watched the event so many times. I had to download it, and I have the anthologies that I throw in once in a while. So, pretty much a perfect card. The main matches on this card were definitely Shane McMahon versus Mr. McMahon with the special guest referee Mick Foley, another great street fight, and a lot of build up to that with Shane McMahon signing the WCW contract, finding that out, and going against his father. But it's funny how when they came out, both their entrants were the exact same thing. The TLC match, TLC 2, most memorable TLC matches of all time. Dudley Boyz versus Edge and Christian versus the Hardys. Good stuff right there. Also, Undertaker versus Triple H was pretty much the co-main event of that night. That was good stuff right there too. It was a 30-minute match. They went on the crowd, inside, outside the ring, everything. And then definitely Rock versus Austin. What can I say with the build-up? It's undescribable. The match was great, and Austin turned heel that night and did what no one thought he would ever do in wrestling history. Shook hands with, signed the deal with the devil, and shook hands with Vince McMahon. So, probably one of the greatest WrestleManias of all times. Yeah, so we have that. Number 3. Coming in number 2, Survivor Series 2002. So, not this actual DVD, but this was my first ever wrestling DVD. When I was 12, for my birthday, I actually got one DVD, and the DVD that came out, so this was 2003, January time, and this was one of my favorite. Like, I watched this on pay-per-view, and I enjoyed it. So I bought this on DVD, and then I lent it to my friend, and then I never got it back, so I got to rebuy it. So there's no insert. You used to have all this stuff inside. Anyway, well, this was probably one of the best events I ever watched, because all the matches were just great. Jamie Noah versus Billy Kidman, what a great cruiserweight match. Trish Stratus versus Victoria in a hardcore match for the Women's Championship, a great match. The 6-man table match, the opener with the Jeff Hardy, the Dudley Boys versus 3-man Warning and Rico. We had the Triple Threat Elimination Tag Team match, Edge and Mysterio versus Angle and Benoit versus Eddie Guerrero and Chavo Guerrero, which still talked about today is one of the best matches. Most memorable memorable tag team matches. And then Lesnar versus Big Show, when Paul Heyman screwed over Brock Lesnar, and Big Show winning the WWE Championship. People forget that Big Show won the championship. People usually forget his reign of that championship for a month. And then definitely the main event of the night, no one expected what was going to happen. Elimination Chamber, Eric Bischoff creation. We had Triple H versus Chris Jericho versus Kane versus Booker T versus RVD versus Shawn Michaels. Just a great, tremendous match. I love the Elimination Chamber. It's my favorite all time because it was definitely the first, and it'll always be the best. Because there was so much hype because we didn't know what was going to happen that night. And then finding out the Elimination Chamber, and then seeing the brutality, and then Shawn Michaels winning the World Heavyweight Championship, and Triple H being the first guy entering and the last guy eliminated. And then I still get goosebumps every time I watch that. So, great pay-per-view. One of my favorite all time. And now, coming in at number 1. No one expected me, actually you probably might expect me to like this pay-per-view. So, we have WrestleMania 18. And why would I rank this over WrestleMania 17? Well, I'll tell you why. I was actually at this event. It was in Toronto, Canada. Sky Dome, not Rogers Center. Rogers Center's crap. I hate how they named it. But that's a different story. So we had, this was the match. Right here. That was the match. That was the match of the night. We had, I can remember off the start. I'm not even looking at the back. There's a CD insider at the back. So we had RVD versus Regal. I love that IC title match. DDP versus Christian. Maven versus Goldust, and that hardcore championship thing going all around. Angle versus Kane was great. We had the tag team match with Dudley Boys versus Billy and Chuck versus APA versus the Hardys, I think. And yeah, that was a great match. I love that match. And then the match, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Scott Hall. That was a great match. Scott Hall selling that stunner was just epic. And then we had the people think the main event of the night was Rock versus Hogan. There was just so much. You can't describe the emotion and the feeling that was that night, cheering for Hulk Hogan and not cheering for The Rock and going crazy. And if you watch the DVD and you watch the part when Hogan got that leg drop and started hulking up and then did the punch and did the leg drop and the crowd going crazy, there's no describing that. Just every time I watch that, I watch that at least. Probably I'll watch that match at least once a month for sure. That match will give me goosebumps every time I watch that match. It just gave me chills because I was there and I remember that match. And after that match, it was the Women's Championship match, the Triple Threat match. That was a good match, but no one remembers it because it was just a regular filler between the main event. And then we had the main event, Triple H versus Chris Jericho, and Triple H winning the Undisputed Championship. But we were all just so burnt out after this match that that's why the crowd wasn't that into it. And people were actually leaving after this Hogan Rock match. So, WrestleMania 18, my favorite WrestleMania of all time. People don't think this is a great WrestleMania, but I love this WrestleMania. I was there, and I just love rewatching it, so I can just rewatch this forever and ever. I used to actually rent this at Blockbuster. I rented this at least 5 times. Yeah, and I probably paid like $30 for renting. I should have just bought it, but whatever. This was actually before I actually got this DVD. So that's my top 10. Recap for you. Well, we have coming in at number 10, Survivor Series 2003. Coming in at number 9, WrestleMania 24. Coming at number 8 is Armageddon 2002. Oh, by the way, Triple H won that night if you guys didn't know. Coming at number 7, WrestleMania 20. Coming at number 6, WrestleMania 19. Coming at number 5, King of the Ring 01. Coming at number 4, SummerSlam 02. Coming in number 3, WrestleMania 17. Coming in number 2, Survivor Series 2002. And coming in number 1, WrestleMania 18. And if you could tell, I love the year of 2002, but just some great pay-per-views. I love every pay-per-view in 2002. There wasn't one flaw, except the, what was it called? The, whatever it was. The, Katie Vick incident. And that was it. That was whatever. No Mercy 2002. That made it up for the Brock Lesnar vs. Undertaker match at Hell in a Cell. So that's pretty much it. If you guys can get any of these DVDs, I recommend any of these DVDs. I love every pay-per-view. I go watch. If I keep one of these pay-per-views, you know what definitely one would be WrestleMania 18. But I could watch any of these pay-per-views over and over again. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed and have a nice day.